vegan versus carnivore. There's two camps that are talking about why you should eat one way and not the other, and vice versa. We are getting all of this cleared out by a fantastic registered dietitian, Vanessa Rissetto. We go over if she agrees with eating more vegan or if she agrees with eating more carnivore.
Like you get on the Instagram and somebody's body is all chiseled because like, oh, I'm eating only meat. And like, okay, but only eating the same thing all the time is going to get you in trouble. And we can link cancer to the overconsumption of red meat.
Vanessa Rissetto is a registered dietitian, CEO, and co-founder of Cleaner Health. It's a digital platform that connects clients with registered dietitians for individualized virtual sessions. Vanessa was named by Essence Magazine as one of the top 5 Black nutritionists that will change the way you think about food. She's a frequent guest on the Today Show and has expert insights that have garnered national press coverage in publications such as Vogue, Bon Appetit, Forbes, Glamour, Shape, Well and Good, and many more. If you're looking to find a healthier relationship with food, what are we doing nutrition-wise that is holding us back from losing weight? How do we eat for our skin so we look younger and glow more? How much protein should we be getting in a day, or is it a myth? We're going to get all of those answers ironed out by this fantastic dietitian in this episode. Well, Vanessa, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
My New Jersey fam here.
Yes, come
God,
stay anytime.
it feels so good to have that New Jersey energy or New York energy, just infusing a little bit into Los Angeles. But, you know, I wanted you on the show because you are not only passionate about dietetics, nutrition, the way we're approaching food, but you also understand how important the accessibility is. There's major gaps, and we're going to go into that. But you told me something off of air that was still in my head. You went to Italy. Mm-hmm. Was it Italy?
No, I went to France.
You went to France?
Yeah, and Spain and London.
Spain. Okay, so you went to Europe.
Yeah.
And you felt great with the food.
I felt amazing.
You came back here. How much longer till you started feeling crappy?
1 day.
Let's get into this right now. Why do we feel so crappy when we come back from vacation?
This food is trash. It's hysterical. There was one point where we went to lunch, and at the end of the lunch, they gave us croissants. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, I didn't order this. And my friend was like, girl, that's for us to eat. Eat this. And I'm like, okay. So I'm eating this croissant, like, fine. Eating these strawberries, like everything just tasted like fresh and amazing. Come home, go out with my friends, have a dinner, sick, stomach distended, miserable. Like every day I was like, why does my stomach look like this? Mm-hmm. And my GI doctor friend was like, this is the reentry. The food that we have is so subpar. It's really sad. And like, think about, I was saying before, right? In the 80s, right? I was born in 1978, but in the 80s, I used to wait for summertime so I could get the strawberries. They were in a green container with plastic wrap over them, and they were so tiny. And now they're like this big, they turn right away. It's just, there's no, I mean, the soil is not great, right? How we're processing food is disgusting, and nobody's going after food companies. Mm-hmm. And so here we are. This is like what is available to us.
It's so you're telling me that when you go to Europe, you're getting not only fresh food, but it's nutrient dense because of the soil. The soil the biggest thing right now?
I think it's actually the processing that is the biggest thing. Like in Europe, they have banned so many additives that are not banned here. Like, so my aunt lives in Switzerland. Every time she comes here, I'm like, can you please bring me sunscreen? Because all of the ingredients that you are not allowed, you shouldn't be having, they don't have those in Europe. But for here, I have to spend $30 on a thing of sunscreen for my kids, where she'll come back with Nivea, like regular brand stuff.
I see.
That
Cleaner.
That's cheaper. That's, like, okay, yeah, it's $5. But here you're spending like for those expensive clean brands are like $25, $30. I'm like, can you please bring me my shipment here so I don't have to spend all this money? It's tough.
Something that always piqued my interest is why when you have a brand of a product in the United States, the same exact brand just has different ingredients overseas. Mm-hmm. And the rules, but I speak a lot. I've spoke in this podcast a lot how sort of the FDA is sort of like a Swiss cheese, and things just get right through it. Right. And
that's right.
The regulations are not what we think.
No, because like a recall is not mandatory. It's suggested. Mm-hmm. So if I own a food company, like, meat is recalled because we found something, the food company doesn't have to recall that. It's a suggestion. And of course they do it because of PR and all of those things. But if they didn't want to do it, they wouldn't get in trouble.
Ew, yeah. So, so there's a lot of
There
leniency,
is a lot of leniency. That's
and
right.
it's pretty messed up, right? Because
Yeah.
we're coming back, and I know a lot of viewers and listeners are gonna go, "That is so true." I go away, my nervous system is better, right? I'm less stressed,
Yes.
but also just blatant foods that I'm not eating here. I
Yeah.
remember my friend went on his honeymoon. He said, "Man, I ate and it was in Italy. I ate pasta, I ate pizza, I ate more pasta, croissants, and he lost weight."
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you tell me he lost weight?
Because he was, the quality was better. He was walking around. He didn't have stress. It was the same. I literally got on the scale and was like, I'm sure the scale must be up because I wasn't really paying any attention. I was just
Mhm,
sort of trying to enjoy and live my life. And then I got on and I was like, oh, that's so interesting. This
mhm,
scale is 5 pounds lighter, like a number I hadn't seen since like before my kids were born. It's so
mhm.
interesting that that happened, but it is about the quality and how they're processing and what they allow and don't allow.
Okay, scale, weight loss. Now I want to talk about this because
Hmm.
I know that you love like recommending these approaches. A lot of people, I'll get some DMs say, "Hey, Dr. G, I can't lose weight, and I'm eating better. I'm eating lots of salads,
Hmm.
you know, and I'm it seems like I'm reducing my calories. Why are people hitting these walls over and over on weight loss?"
Yeah, I think the problem is everyone thinks it's like a one size fits all. So I'm just going to eat salads and then I'm going to lose weight. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, but do you have enough protein in that salad? Like, what is actually happening? Are you moving your body? Is there something that's happening after hours? Like, these people are like, I eat so great. And then I stop eating at 6 o'clock. And then at 9 p.m., you're eating cookies or candies. And
Mm,
maybe you're not really remembering that. So this is why Colina exists, right? It's so that we can give people access to a dietitian who's going to help them navigate that. It's really hard to be able to figure it out because how food is made, what things that you think are quote unquote healthy or they're going to help you on this like weight loss
uh,
journey might not actually be for you. And so somebody has to help you make sense of what is going out there in the world. So I mean, generally speaking, I know this is going to offend everybody, but you all don't eat enough food. I think it's
we don't
like
eat enough.
you don't
Okay.
eat enough. So what happens is people don't eat enough and then they overeat later on in the day. This is what I see really often. I'll have a woman come to me like, I can't lose weight. And it's like, I don't eat before noon. I don't feel comfortable. And then you're like, right, but then at 9 p.m., you eat a sleeve of cookies. So not
Mm.
eating at 9 a.m. is not working for you because everyone wants to be so rigid and that's not really how it works. You need to be a little bit more flexible and understand that what works for me might not work for you.
Are we supposed to then be eating breakfast? Or if it's not one size
Some
fits all?
people,
Yeah.
some people not. Like, so I'm somebody who doesn't matter. I could eat breakfast, not eat breakfast. It's not going to affect me later on in the day. But I know some people that are just like, I cannot actually do anything unless I front load all of my calories in the first part of the day. Otherwise, I know I'm going to come home and eat 3,000 calories of potato chips. So it just depends on what it is for you.
Okay, so first recommendation for those trying to lose weight, eat enough.
Eat enough.
And sort of the fasting is great, but maybe don't fast such that you're eating late at night.
That's right. And also, you can fast in different ways, right? So, like, stop eating at 6 or 7 and then eat your first meal at like 9:30, right? So then you've kind of like hit that window. Also, why is everyone so into snacks all the time?
Mhm,
Everyone's so like snack obsessed and you need to like let your migrating motor complex do its work, right? Your
mhm.
microbiome is like a little bit off. You don't know why. Like let everything going on in your gut do its job and give your body rest. Like that might be the thing for you. So instead of fasting, you're doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner, no snacks. We got to try these things out and then see what works.
Yeah, I want to talk about snacking. I think that over the past few years, there's been a lot of companies that have come out
Mm-hmm.
that have made healthy snacking more accessible.
Uh-huh.
Snacking sort of used to be associated with like, oh, cookies or
Yeah.
crackers or Doritos
Yeah.
or, whatever
Yeah.
sweet thing. Now we got all of these nice healthy chips or
Yeah.
healthy popcorn. Um, but you mentioned the migrating motor complex. What is that? And why is it important for us to understand why snacking may disrupt our gut health?
Yeah. So like a lot of, you think about like SIBO, for example, right? Like sometimes people who have like chronic SIBO, the bacteria in your gut needs to like clean everything away, right? This is like the most like layman's terms.
Mhm,
And so when you're constantly eating, there's no opportunity for those bacteria to do their job of
mhm,
moving out all of the stuff that you don't need and leaving all the good. And so always snacking for people who might have GI disturbances or just like have difficulty losing weight, those things might not work. So we don't necessarily need to snack all the time. Also, all the snacks, I feel like most of them are just kind of like loaded with junk, right? Like they're not, it's like, isn't that just like a glorified cookie, which is fine if you want to have a cookie. But what I say to people is, let's say you do want dessert. When you're eating your meal, like you eat your whole meal and then you also eat the dessert because your body is already doing that processing and that digestion. Don't give your body time to rest and then have to start the process all over again. Now there's disruption, right? That's not what you want. But you're trained to think like, oh, I want to like wait and have the cookie and like that's like the treat, and that's like not the way to really do it.
So if you're eating the meal, making sure you're eating all your foods within that meal.
That's right.
Not, oh, I'll have this an hour from now.
Right. Then because your body's already started to shut down, do its thing, right? Like
clean up.
Yep, clean up, and you're not letting it do its job.
It's like the concert's over and the cleanup crew needs to clean up all the water bottles and all the trash.
Right. And here you go, tossing more water bottles.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I actually found that a lot of people who are sensitive with their gut, snacking is really disruptive.
That's right. That's right. Just like not everybody needs a ton of fiber. I'm all about fiber. We need fiber. It's good for you. But if you have a lot of GI disturbance, we need to pay attention. Maybe you need insoluble versus soluble. Maybe you don't need 30 grams. Maybe you need 24 grams. You need to be, that's the problem here is that, people hear these studies, hear these things on the news and they're like, oh, that's for me. So now I got to go do it. And they don't feel better and they get frustrated and they're not able to sustain anything to get the outcome that they want.
Yeah, very important to be in touch with your body enough that you know what's working for you.
That's right.
For so long, I've been eating so much insoluble fiber. And I'm like, my God, this is too much.
It's too much.
So I flipped it. I ate a bunch of soluble
and now you
fiber.
Feel better.
Oh, I feel great.
Yes.
I like the jelly consistencies. That's good. Chia seeds and things like that. That's good.
Right. That's right.
But for me, like raw roughage, a raw salad doesn't work. So everyone out there, like you got to get a feel for what, even if it's healthy, quote unquote, it might not be good for you.
That's right. That's right. And all the doctors I know, some of the best GI doctors in the country that I know will say that same message. Like, okay, don't have insoluble, have soluble. Because this bulk fiber is not working for you. Get something to help move it out, and then play around with what will work. Okay.
So a lot of constipation out here.
That's because they don't want to drink water.
Okay. So what are some of your really major recommendations for some people out there who go, oh, I poop every 2 days or maybe even a third day? That's not normal, right?
Dr. G, when they come to my office and they say that, I'm like, okay, first stop. We need to fix that first. They're like, no, but I'm here for weight loss. I'm like, no.
Number one.
We need to fix what is going on here. You cannot go to the bathroom every 3 days. And they're like, oh, that's normal for me. I'm like, it's not normal. It's not good. You need to go to the bathroom. And then they'll come in and they'll be like, wow, I go to the bathroom every day and I lost weight. I'm like, I know. It's like hand in hand.
Funny? Yeah.
So I think it's the fiber, right? People like, oh, I don't like vegetables. I'm like, all right, well, like, there's chia seeds, there's nuts, there's oatmeal. Like you can get fiber in other ways. Also, nobody wants to drink water, or they think they do drink a lot of water and they're drinking like 20 ounces a day. Yeah. This is not enough. You need 96 ounces of water per day minimum so that you can have a functioning colon. Thank you, everyone. To do that, that is like the magic. And eat a vegetable and a piece of fruit. You should be okay.
97. I just got this green water bottle from Amazon. It's got like the silicone on the outside and has the little numbers on the side, and it's got some times. Yeah. And you can do it yourself.
Correct.
So I know by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I've drank this much water.
That's right.
More than half. I look at it, I go, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
If I go to the gym, I even add another half and finish it.
Right.
Now I know how much I drank.
Yes. I'll get the 32-ounce bottles of water. Now I'm like, no one send me a water bottle. You know how it's like, oh, here's our new product and here's your water bottle. You're like, that's not what I want. But the 32-ounce ones, and I'll just fill it up 3 times. And I'm like, okay, I have to drink this 3 times. And same, by the time I go to the gym, I've had one. Yeah. Then at the gym, I have another one. And then by the time it's 5 o'clock, I've had another 1.5.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, we all can. It's just that it's sort of it's a habit, right? It's it has to be the habit of like that green water bottle is pretty much everywhere with me. Is it next to me? I didn't bring it with me here. Yeah. So, but it's everywhere with me. I brought it to the dentist this morning. Yeah. I bring it to the gym. I bring it to my friends' houses. Yeah. I'm like, no, I don't like the water. Right. They're not gonna have enough. You know what I mean?
My best friend is like this.
So I come with this big thing. They know I got that's Christian's water bottle right there. Yeah. So get your water bottle.
That's right. Get your water
fill it
bottle.
up.
People give them to you for free. It's not that hard. just drink that. And then, and have other things too. You can drink other things, right? Green tea. If you drink coffee every day, that adds to your water intake. You can add electrolyte tablets if you want to make it more fun, or add a piece of fruit, but it's just water.
It's just water.
It's just water.
And for a lot of people, they're like, oh no, I don't like the taste of water. You just said you could put electrolyte tablets, you can sweeten it up, or you could squeeze something into it. Make it so you drink it and you want to drink it.
Right. Or like, clearly your mother's hugged you a lot and it shows, but like, just drink the water.
Just drink the water.
Sometimes we have to do things that maybe we don't really like, but like,
it's true.
It's okay.
It's true. I love that. Okay. So foods that are like a forest fire to weight loss, foods that are holding us back from our goals. But what are the things easily that we're just like, okay, if you're going to lose weight, you can't eat these. Maybe you have like half the calories. I don't know. But like, these are not going to be good for your body. It's going to be inflammatory. As someone who is deeply committed to my holistic wellness, the quality of my sleep environment is just as important to me as my diet and exercise. That is why I'm so drawn to Birch. They craft their mattresses using only organic, sustainable, and ethically sourced materials like organic cotton, natural latex, and wool. And unlike all those conventional mattress brands packed with synthetic foams and fiberglass, Birch mattresses are entirely free from polyurethane foams that can cause harmful off-gassing. They never use that cheap, dangerous fiberglass as a flame retardant either. Instead, Birch harnesses the natural flame resistance of 100% wool to keep you safe and sound when you're sleeping, right? I've had my Birch mattress for about 3.5 years now. I love it. I look forward to going to bed because I know that this is going to be a comfortable bed. I'm going to be feeling like I'm sleeping on a cloud. It is resistant to mold, to mildew. It's a great bed. It's luxurious. And it's clean. One of the best parts is Birch delivers the mattress right to your door for free, and it makes the process seamless. And they even offer optional in-home setup and removal of your old mattress. You get a generous 100-night sleep trial plus a 25-year warranty, so you can rest assured about your investment. And if upgrading to a cleaner, greener sleep setup sounds appealing, I can't recommend Birch highly enough. Just head to birchliving.com/healthyself to get 20% off of your Birch mattress and get 2 free premium pillows. That is birchliving.com/HEALTHYSELF for an incredible deal on an organic mattress that will transform your sleep quality. You know, someone who's always on the lookout for natural, effective solutions for our health, I've been really impressed when I discovered Active Skin Repair. They use a pretty fascinating approach. It's based on hypochlorous acid, which might sound intense, yes, I know, but it's actually a molecule that we make in our own bodies. You produce it, and when you apply it to your skin, it works just like your natural immune response, cleansing, soothing irritation, and helping with the healing process. I've had this for actually a really long time. I've been working with this company, but I'm so happy to get them on the podcast because this works. I have pictures, it works. What I love about Active Skin Repair is how versatile it is. Whether you're dealing with a minor cut or a nasty sunburn or even like really tough rash, it's amazing. It's safe for the skin. Even if you have sensitive skin like rosacea, eczema, or acne, this stuff works. And the best part is it's a natural, non-toxic solution. And as a doctor, it's really huge for me to know that parents are giving this to their kids. It's fine, it's safe. Anyone in the family can take it, from grandpa to your newborn. So instead of having a cabinet full of all of these creams and ointments, Active Skin Repair is like a one-stop shop for skin health. It's got over 1 million happy customers, tons of 5-star reviews, and the beautiful thing about it is it works. It really does. It's fantastic. I didn't have to get stitches or surgery. I documented it, and Active Skin Repair closed it up in 9-10 days, closed up. It was amazing. So head over to Active Skin Repair, ActiveSkinRepair.com to learn more about Active Skin Repair. And here's a special offer for you, the Heal Thyself listener. Use the code DRG at checkout to get 20% off of your order.
I think, first of all, as a culture, we drink too much alcohol. It's like really pervasive and kind of like, guys, take a step back. Yeah. It's like a Tuesday night and you go out with like mom's group and everyone's just like blasted drunk, and then they're eating everything in sight, and then they're like, I can't keep to my goals. I'm like, okay, so it's not necessarily that it's the alcohol, it's the behaviors around it. So, okay, yeah, one drink is whatever. When it's a whole bottle of wine, 1,500 calories later, right? And then you had pizza and then you had fries and then you're doing that multiple times a week. This is your problem. So you're not aligning your behaviors with your goals. And I think that is where we have this disconnect. The foods per se, I don't know. I don't think there's one thing, right? You know, if you're eating out fast food every single day, if you're eating all your foods are come in a package, meaning like all cookies, like cakes, like chips, that's all you're taking in, and there's no variety there, we're going to have an issue. But if you are open to a varied diet and trying new things and, you know, moving your body, like, you should be okay. But I think that this alcohol and really like saying to yourself, oh, weight loss is what I want. Okay, weight loss is what I want. I don't have any like disordered eating patterns. Okay, fine. Okay, what are the habits that are prohibiting this?
Yeah. And alcohol being one of the biggest ones.
I think it's like huge.
And in itself being calorically dense, a lot of these alcohols that we drink.
That part. This is the other part, I think. When you see these commercials where it's like, oh, this beer is 96 calories, that gives a signal that alcohol and like 96 calories of chicken are going to be metabolized the same way. And that is not true, right? Your body sees alcohol as a poison, and it has to do everything it can to push it away from the bloodstream. So it has to break the alcohol down into acetaldehyde and move it away from the bloodstream. So everything you eat gets stored as fat. So like, that is your problem. Right? Stop thinking that these are all the same, but you know, we don't give that education when we're younger.
No, big time. And the alcohol culture is huge, especially more where you are. But it's huge here too. And it's like, we go out and it's hand in hand. It's like, let me get a drink, or let's have some drinks, or let's have a meeting and go out for a drink. Let's go on a date and go out for drinks. And it's incredible how it weaves in. But as we get older and we start changing, our metabolism changes, it's we can't drink like we used to in the 20s or 30s.
I mean, I'm 45 and I had this experience a number of times where it was like, I only had one drink, and like, you know, you can't sleep for a week, and you're waking up just like depressed, like everything is like horrible. Like, you know what? This is not for me. Like, no.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So we're removing the alcohol. We're removing all those processed foods. What are we bringing in that is going like, these are fantastic foods for weight loss or metabolism or blood sugar, however you want to look at it?
Yeah. Like, I think that it's the combination too, right? So having a breakfast, right, where that it does have fiber. So you mentioned chia seeds before. Like in the summertime, my favorite thing is to do overnight oats. I add chia seeds. I do peanut butter. I'll add some chocolate chips. I'm like, okay, this is good. This has fiber. This has protein in it. Has fat. It's going to hold me over until my next meal. I always make sure that I have a vegetable at lunch and dinner. I always make sure to have one piece of fruit in the day. I always also make sure to honor the things that I like. So back to that saying, like, okay, well, I do want to have a cookie, so I am going to eat that. And so I think, again, it's that behavior and that structure for me helps. And I give that to my patients as well. And they also say like, oh, now I have structure and I understand and I know what I like and I don't like. And this helps me not be confused or wondering what I should be eating, or if this is okay or if this is not okay. Like, I can figure this out because you've laid this out for me in this pattern.
It's powerful. Yeah. So this is the problem with diets, right? We get rid of everything.
Right.
And we go, I'm going to stick to this, but it's another job. It's another job. We don't want to take another job on, you know?
You want to have, I always give people like, here, let's talk through 5 breakfasts that you like and that you're going to do. And then let's talk through what are the vegetables that you like and what are the ways to get them in. Like, okay, so once you have these pieces in your house, then you're like, okay, I have the broccoli here. Like, oh, okay. Vanessa said I could just cut up cucumbers and that's going to be enough because I'm not very vegetable forward. And like, okay, I'm going to do this apple with peanut butter, or, oh, like I can have a plain yogurt and I'm going to add a teaspoon of Nutella and that feels like really decadent, but it's high protein. Like giving people those ideas, which I always think are like stupid, but then I realize nobody knows them. So I'm actually being helpful. It's like, that is where people have success and longevity and sustainability on the quote unquote diet.
Because it's not cookie cutter. You're personalizing it for what they want and what they like.
That's right.
And that's the best, because I know I don't want to eat bell peppers because they hurt my stomach. But then if I see a diet off the internet and they go, well, you have to eat 3 bell peppers a day, I'm like, what's going on?
Right.
You know, I'm not going to want to follow it. Or broccoli or kale or cauliflower. Those are all not good for me.
Right.
But I know it's good for me.
Right.
So it's sustainable long term.
Yep.
Which is really important for everyone viewing and listening. It's like, are you on a quote unquote diet that you sort of, it's like work.
Right.
It's wearing you down.
And no one's going to do it. This is why, like, oh, I don't like to food journal. Well, no one likes to food journal because I don't want to write down in an app that I ate a half a cup of rice and beans. I want to like take a picture passively, or I want someone to just help me with the ideas. And again, like, this is why we started Kulina. I wanted people to be able to say like, oh, personalized to me. This person who knows what they're talking about, went to school, is going to help me navigate what is personalized to me, my culture, my likes, my dislikes, and I'm going to be able to have things, and they're not just taking it all away. Because what is that? Like an unhappy existence.
Oh my God. Personalized dietary recommendations for you.
For you.
On Kulina.
That's right.
Yeah, and we're going to put that on the link for the show. You mentioned protein. Okay. So let's say I'm big on 30, 40 years old. We start losing muscle. We got to get to the gym. I'm big on men and women weight training. We don't have to be jacked up bodybuilders, but we want to put on some good muscle, reduce the fat.
That's right.
How, let's say I was one of your clients or someone on your platform. Where do we go with protein if I want to get fit?
Yeah. Well, first, when everyone's like, oh, it's a gram of protein for every pound of weight. And I'm like, guys, no, stop doing that.
Unless you're like a bodybuilder.
Yeah, you're a bodybuilder. That's the thing. Like, we take our cues from bodybuilders, which is very helpful, but this is an entirely different thing.
And a lot of them use steroids. You know what I mean? So like, let's be real.
But like, they spend all day in the gym. Like that's their job. That's their job is to be like that. So that's not what we're doing. We want to be really mindful of like what it is for us and our bodies. I think first of all, historically, we've moved women away from weight training. I think it's like this weird like attack on women. Like, how do we like fuck you up later? Right? And so everyone's like, oh, I have to do a lot of cardio, a lot of cardio, a lot of cardio. Well, then you don't have any lean body mass. You don't have any muscle. And then your resting metabolic rate is down. And so then when everything starts to change at age 35 and you're storing fat in a different way, you have no muscle to go off of, and then you're in trouble. So everybody hear it first from me. Please weight train. Like, this is what is going to sustain you long term. Number one. Number two, it's 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per kilogram of weight. So now we've like brought it down a little bit, right? And so if you are like 68 kilograms, you're looking at 68 grams of protein if you are someone who's sedentary. So we could bump that up to maybe like 85, 90 if you have a high activity factor. So that's for what, like 140-pound person? Okay. And then we can sort of go up or down from there. But if for context, 4 ounces of chicken, it's like 36 grams of protein. This is America. We over fortify everything. So you don't have to like do anything extra unless you're food compromised, right? Or, you're ill and you need something extra. I think just, getting protein where you can based on your preference. You can get it from beans, you can get it from tofu, you can get it from fish, you can get it from chicken, red meat. Nuts and seeds. We can get the protein that we need and do what we need to do. But like you said, we're not bodybuilders. We don't need to be jacked up.
Exactly.
We just need to think, okay, I want to be able to be standing upright when I'm 70. I look at my parents and they're just kind of like older. My mom, when I was pregnant, would be like, you're exercising? This is so dangerous. And like, you're just like an old foreign lady with like ideas that like just
old school.
Yeah, you're old school, right? So that's not it. But I see my mom, like, she's older. She's 75 and she seems 75, right? Yeah. Where I see other people's parents who exercise and like are really paying attention to what they're putting in their body and they're standing up straight. And so like, that's what
my dad. My dad works out 2 hours every day.
Yeah, I want to be that.
And young energy. And I think we have to understand it's now that we're setting that precedent.
Yep.
When we're 30, when we're 40 years old, for when we're older. Because we're breaking down that muscle naturally every decade.
That's right.
And as we lose that muscle, we're going uphill every single decade.
Yep. You're not helping yourself.
Now is the time. So then what do you say to the women out there that go, no, but I'm going to be too bulky. I just got to do cardio.
I point them to, I used to weight train in a powerlifting gym. It was awesome. It was just like me and my best friend and a bunch of powerlifters who would like compete. We just wanted to be strong and we were in the best shape of our lives.
Big weight belts and everything.
Yeah, they were huge.
And everything.
All of it. And we were like, okay, we're just going to like put these bars on our back and squat. It's like posterior chain movement and you'd have to like do anything extra. Squat, bench, and deadlift. Like that's all we did for like an hour and a half. We did it twice a week, and then sometimes 3, and then we would do other kinds of cardio, and it was great. Then COVID happened and things changed, and so I'm still like chasing that high. But one of the coaches there was the only female powerlifting coach in the state of New Jersey, and when I tell you, she's this big and her body is beautiful, and she does not bulky at all. She just has this lean body because, you know, she's weight training. I think if she was probably eating more food, she could change that physique if she wanted to, but she doesn't, right? She's like in this great shape and she squats and deadlifts all the time. And so that's
what I say. Are you optimizing for your frame?
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to be like a power lifter. You're not going to get bulky.
Right.
You just want to make sure you're reducing the fat and building up that muscle.
Yeah. But like I said, I think we're pointing to these power lifters, right? And they're doing something specific, and you're pointing to the women that are doing that. And you're like, oh, I don't want to look like that. It's like, yeah, but that person does want to look like that and is very specific and strategic on how they get to that look. So that's where I think people are confused.
That's a good point when you think about that. So, you know, we want to get fit. So the big priority, getting fit, eating that good food.
Yes. Making
sure that we're getting enough protein. We don't have to go our body weight in protein, but eating enough.
Yeah.
But then some people go, well, I don't know, like I don't get enough protein in my day. You know, like it might be difficult for a lot of people. Is it okay then to move into like protein powders?
Yeah.
Is that a good supplement?
Yeah. I mean, you have to watch, like, how does your stomach feel?
Right.
Is there a way? Is there a case? Are you bloated? Does it cause you any kind of like GI distress, any kind of diarrhea? You have to really pay attention to the brands that are out there. So you have to look for whatever is going to be okay for you. I am kind of funny about the protein powders that I like because they tend to be full of a lot of additives and fake sugars and things that can mess with your stomach. But there are brands out there that I do happen to like. Slide into my DMs and I'm happy to share them with you. But yes, that is fine. If you're not somebody who likes to eat that much, you know, there are just people out there. They're like, I don't like animal protein and I really don't like beans that much. I'll eat nuts and seeds. Right. Like, okay, so here are the protein powders. You have to help yourself. And sometimes the protein bars, you're going to have to find the ones. If you're looking for something specific, if you're just looking to like sustain your life, then it's like, it's a little bit easier, I think. We can get away with more leeway. But if you're looking to maintain a physique or do anything of that nature, you're going to have to be a little bit more judicious and diligent about how you consume that protein.
100%. Yeah. And there's a lot of people who say that. They're like, oh, you know, I don't like beans or quinoa or animal products. So these are the people. If you want to build muscle, there's got to be something there. You got to be getting enough.
Yeah. There's compromise. We got to do something. Yeah.
There's a compromise. All right. Okay. So now we get in the full picture. Now now everyone who's listening is like, oh, I'm getting ready for this. You know, reverse aging now.
Exactly.
What about beauty, skin? There's a lot of people who go, water. Okay. So let's get into that.
Yeah.
We want to optimize that glow. We want to look younger. We want skin health to be really on point.
Yeah.
What are some of the major things?
Well, like protein, right? You know, there used to be before the idea was as we age, we lose collagen. We know that. And it didn't matter how much collagen you ingested, you couldn't help to repair. Now we know that that's not true. So you can take collagen powders and that can help you with maintaining your collagen and actually getting new collagen in. So that helps. Like fruits, vegetables, water, more protein, not so much alcohol, right? Those things, like alcohol dehydrates you, smoking dehydrates you, makes the skin like kind of sag, and like that's not what you want. Also, like when people are the other way, right? Like you're like so skinny that it's like unhealthy. That's also not good for your skin. Everything will drop, and you won't be able to lift it back up without injectables. So
which is the big thing.
Yeah.
So really finding that balance of I'm getting a healthy amount of protein, I'm getting a nutritious diet, so my skin looks good, it feels plump.
Yeah.
Building up the collagen.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite collagen-rich, collagen-building foods so we can start taking them in if that's a priority?
Yeah. I mean, okay, like sardines.
Like those. Okay.
Yeah, sardines are like the number one for me. I'll also do like salmon in like the can or like in the packet. Like that's a nice one. eggs, like lots of choline there. So that's helpful for you. Pistachios, pumpkin seeds. Again, like those are things that will definitely like help with collagen. And then I also make sure there's like enough vitamin C. So you can get vitamin C from berries that also is like helping you just like look more youthful and like radiant. So don't skimp out on your fruits and your vegetables.
Listen, that's my little secret.
Yeah.
I do berries since for years.
Yes. Yep.
Berries in my smoothies,
Yep.
berries for handful,
Yep.
raspberry there, blackberry there.
Yep.
Listen, I'm trying to get that glow.
I'm with you.
I'm trying to look like you.
I'm with you. I know people stop me and they'll be like, this skin is so good. I'm like, guys, I drink water, I eat fruit, I eat berries every day. Like same. I'm just like, I don't know. I eat like packets of salmon. I'm just sardines. I don't know. And like, don't smoke, don't like.
Of course. And even in the alcohol, look, I've been drinking 6 years.
Yeah.
Like,
and you look young.
That's a big thing.
Yes,
drinking will age you. It's funny. It's like in your 20s, drinking kind of doesn't age you because you're just like young and vital and vibrant and rebound.
Yep.
And then what happens in your 30s, if you drink through your 30s, you just start looking older. It starts accelerating and now the gas is hitting on it.
You see your friends that like drink a lot and you're like, oh, did you go away? Like, oh no, your face is red because you drink too much.
Yeah.
No good. It's no good.
Yes. Exactly. That's the no good. That's a big one.
Yep.
So we're getting our skin. It's plump. It's looking beautiful. Vitamin C rich foods. Drinking enough water, which you say.
Yeah.
And now people are gonna go, well, you know what? My hair, it looks like it's dying. It's frizzy. I'm losing my hair. It's thin. Can we even help our hair health through nutrition?
So that's where it gets tricky, right? Because I just did 14 rounds of chemo. My hair used to look much better, but it's like, I'm doing it. It's fine. You can only do so much for the hair. We haven't figured it out yet. So yes, you definitely need to have enough protein. I have had patients come in that for whatever reason, they're vegetarian and they're not taking in like enough protein, or like they're vegan, or they're just like not hitting it right. And their hair is falling out in clumps. And I'm like, guys, can you eat a bean? Like, can you? And then they come back and they're like, oh my gosh, my hair stopped falling out. So yes. We need to have enough protein. We need not smoking, not drinking so much. Like that is definitely going to help your hair. But if you have like hair that's like thinning as you age, you're going to have to go see somebody about that because it can be like something in the genes. But we are really good at identifying why people have hair loss. And then there are ways for us to fix it. But you're going to have to first go see the doctor.
First and foremost, getting that checked out.
Because otherwise you're spending billions of dollars a year we spend on hair.
Big money.
Shampoos, all those things. Like, I mean, the top hair expert in the country who has since moved to Australia, I knew him and he was like, those shampoos don't do anything. You can take all the biotin that you want, not going to do anything for you. He's like, you could do minoxidil orally, but you're still going to have to do PRP or microneedling because you have to create blood flow to the scalp. Like that's where you're going. And then like, yes, maintaining a proper diet. He's like, of course, you can't be like not eating protein and vegetables and like eating processed foods. Then you have no chance. But the scalp is like a very tricky thing.
Yeah, I have a friend, he's got gray hair and he said, I mean, he's got great genes too, but he brushes it with this plastic scalp brusher.
Yeah, massaging the scalp. Increasing the
bringing the blood flow. And he's like, and then I go, you do that every day? He goes, I wouldn't brush my teeth with my finger. He's like, this is part of like how I wash my hair. It has to bring blood flow. I said, damn, man, this guy look like Fabio over here with his hair just flowing and everything in the wind.
That's
the secret.
That is the secret.
So we got to get blood flow, get good nutrition. And then if it's genetic, talking to the doctor, seeing what the options are.
And I think that people feel like some kind of shame around it. Like they're like, oh, I noticed that my hair is thinning, like, but I don't want to say anything about it. But that's the time for you to go. You can be helped. Like you don't have to have, like, I have genetic hair loss in my family and like everybody has hair on their head because they go and they deal with it.
A lot of people are big on these detoxes now. They say you go to the supermarket or Whole Foods or any health food store and they got all the box detoxes. And there's a lot of supplement protocols. We're living in this world. And we talked about the FDA and now the EPA. We're exposed to stuff. How do we make sure nutritionally that every single day we're doing right by our body to clean out, to make sure we're filtering, to make sure our liver We talk about pooping, but making sure our liver is efficiently cleaning, kidneys efficiently cleaning.
I know our liver does all the work. Poor thing.
We gotta say thank you at least once a day.
I know. I go to acupuncture every week. And when I was doing chemo last year, my doctor was like, "Damn, you're nothing. Your labs are good." I'm like, "Yeah, I drink that milk thistle tea and I go to acupuncture every week. It's really saving me."
That's a big one.
Yeah, but like I think it goes back to how much alcohol are you having? Are like what is like the processed foods that you're eating? Also, what are the supplements that you're taking? Like, right? If you are eating a lot of processed foods, drinking a lot of alcohol, then you're like, I'm just gonna like take these supplements and like cross my fingers. It's like too much work on the liver. You need to give yourself a rest, not really helping yourself out. So I would go back to like, what are my goals? What am I doing every single day? You know, when I worked at Mount Sinai Hospital, we'd be like, you don't have to detox because your liver and your kidneys detox for you. But like the state of the world, right, is different. So you do need something. But I think it starts with, what are you taking in every day and where can we make some adjustments?
Okay. What are some of the best foods out there to support the liver?
Oh, I'm telling you, that milk thistle tea, like dandelion greens, back to our berries, that is also going to help you. Beans, like lower animal protein, higher like, plant-based.
Plant-based, like artichokes, beets, things like that.
Yeah, because you just like want the liver to not be working so hard, right? Like what happens when you have like too many carbohydrates, right? Like the liver is starting to make calories and store fat. Like the liver is always doing something. Like all of these pills that everyone's taking, right? Like, oh, I need this pill to make me do this or to sleep and it's like, okay, but the liver is the one that has to do all of this work and you're not helping it.
It's always working. What about the cruciferous vegetables? How much do you love them?
I mean, I love them, right? Broccoli, cauliflower, kale works for me too. It doesn't bother my stomach.
But if it works for us, should we be having these all the time?
Yeah, I mean, these are part of the, like dark leafy greens help with this detox, help with the liver, like this vitamin A, right? Like these fat soluble vitamins in moderation are helping the liver, right? But they're also stored in the liver for about up to 6 years. So we want to make sure that we're not overdoing it.
That's why people eat animal liver.
Yeah, I know. But like, I think that's also comes from, this is like old, back from like the 50s and 60s. My parents talk about how before they would go to school, they would have to take like a teaspoon of cod liver oil. Yeah. It was like so good for you. And I was like, well, what did it do? And they're like, we never got sick. I'm like, okay, you lived in Haiti. Like it's like the 50s. It was like sunny. Like
it was sunny. You had just the beach. And
it was the beach. You're like, they're like, no, that's what we're. How come they don't give that here? And I'm like, I don't think it's a thing, but they think it is, that it was like this cure all. I'm not really sure.
That was a big thing that I hear a lot on the older generation. It's funny. I was unpacking because I just moved to this house. It's like cod liver oil. Where did I get this from? I just have a whole bottle of it, and you think about those fat soluble vitamins, just I guess for kids and bone growth and eye and teeth.
But the thing is, right? Like, okay, you have to drink milk. Milk is good for your bones. So there's a longitudinal study out of Sweden, and they tracked women over 20 years. The ones that had 0 to 1 glass of milk every day had 0 fractures, and the ones that had 2+ had fractures, right? And then you think, okay, like a stalk of broccoli has as much calcium as a glass of milk. Both of my kids are lactose intolerant. So like I breastfed them for 1 year each. Then I introduced milk right away. They both became like violently ill. And I was like, okay, well, I guess you're not drinking milk. And nothing happened. Like my daughter's 12 and she's 5'3". And my son is a beanpole, but he's still like growing. So nobody ever drank milk. And I also never drank milk growing up because my mom is from Haiti where there's like no proper refrigeration. So she wasn't like forward on milk, and it was fine. So I think that is something that people need to be really like mindful of.
Yeah, and knowing that like we can break down milk when we're feeding, but then after we wean off of that,
you don't need it.
There's a reason why that enzyme just starts disappearing.
That's right. That's right.
So for some people, like it's not existent. Then you can't have it at all.
That's right. I remember going to people's houses growing up, and like they would be drinking milk with dinner, and I was like, oh my gosh,
oh my god,
so gross.
It is kind of gross when you think about it, right? When we were kids, it was like it just happened.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen someone drink a glass of milk in maybe 20 years.
No.
Does that happen still?
No, when I was in Europe, it was so funny because my kids are lactose intolerant. My husband's lactose intolerant. So there's just almond milk in my house. I'm not lactose intolerant, but okay, it's fine. I don't like the taste. So I'm in France and I'm like, can I get almond milk? And they're like, no. I was like, okay, just like that's flat out, like you're not having it. But I have not gone anywhere in recent time where I've seen children, drinking milk with their dinner because I think we get it now. Like, don't do it.
I tried to like intervene and use the whey, it's a concentrated whey powder. And I had so much mucus in my chest.
Yeah.
I'm talking, so for a while I thought I was sick.
Right, of course.
And I was like, did I catch something? What's going on? And I'll never forget, I woke up and I actually went into my body. I said, I feel good. Okay, I can breathe. I had my drink right before the gym and I'm like, right? All this mucus is post-nasal stuff. And I go, oh, it's the concentrate. My body still I thought maybe after all these years fixing my gut, I could do it. No.
It's funny you say that. Somebody brought me a protein shake that was milk-based, but it was like chocolate. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll try it. I writhed in pain all night long. I was like, oh my gosh, what is this?
Right.
And it was like, oh, like I can do like cheese or whatever, but I just never have milk. Like it just, so my body was like, no, we don't do this. Like, no.
Yeah. I would actually urge the viewers and listeners, think about it. If your kid is suffering with like asthma, allergy, eczema, respiratory issues, sinus issues, think about the dairy stuff.
Yeah, you don't need the dairy. You like everyone's like, oh, the brain health. I'm like, yes, but you will eat other things to get it. So you're okay.
You can get fat soluble vitamins in a lot of other foods.
Yes, there are omega all over the place. Yeah. Exactly.
And I know that study that you were talking about. I remember I talked to the Clippers right here, the NBA Clippers, because it's so crazy. Like these organizations, professional organizations, have big deals with big food.
Yes.
And one of them is milk.
Yep.
So I actually went in there and was lobbying with the other, like, hey, get off dairy because athletically it's hindering you.
Yep.
And they're just used to just drinking milk, like chocolate milk with their meals or after basketball games. And I'm talking to the management and they heard it, but they were just like,
I know. I've talked to teams before where they're like, yeah, so we feed them Popeyes before meals, before games. And you're like, I'm sorry.
It's pretty wild. And what a testament to like human resiliency. Cause these athletes have like this massive bounce back of resiliency. They can eat Popeyes and go perform at a high level.
Yeah.
That ain't all of us.
No. But think about what a higher level they could perform.
Oh, well, exactly. I think about that.
I'm like, do you know what they could do if they didn't eat that? Like,
well, that's LeBron James. LeBron James is like, he eats very well. I think he spends $50,000-$60,000 a month on dietitian, massage, body work.
My God.
The guy is my age. He's 40.
He's a machine.
And he's playing basketball.
Yeah.
He's played since I came out of high school in the NBA.
Yeah.
He's the oldest player. And I'm just in shock how he takes care of his body and still playing at a high level.
It's amazing.
So yeah, I just love that we got into that dairy conversation. So for people there's people who go, okay, I don't want to eat any meat. I want to eat any animal protein. This is a lifestyle of vegan for ethics. Can we do that in a healthy way? Is that possible?
Yeah, you can. I think a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to be a vegan. And then they come to you and they're like, I just eat like vegan cheese and bread. And you're like, okay, this is all not
the processed snacks.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, a cashew is not supposed to be cheese. It's like overly processed. So you have to be paying attention to that. So it does require a little bit of work. That's what it is. Like all of this stuff at the end of the day requires work. If you want to be mindful of what you're eating and like live this life where you're healthier and you feel good, you have to pay attention. You're going to have to put some effort into it. If you want to be vegan for ethics reasons, like that's great, but you're not going to be able to go to like fast food vegan every single day because then you're going to be worse off. And I get it. It's for the ethics. It's not for like weight or what, but like, then what? You're going to get yourself into trouble, right? Because what's better, like a grass-fed piece of beef or the processed cheese, like beans or whatever. There's so many chemicals, and so that's the stuff. But get books. Just go on Instagram. There's so many people. Like I go on Instagram to find things to eat, so I just like scroll hidden people, influencers, chefs, cooks, and I'm like, oh, look at this. I'm gonna make this. Like you can consume free information that is going to help you on whatever journey it is that you're on.
I really like that because understanding that if you're moving away from animal-based anything, you got to do some work.
Yeah.
This is the reason why some people go plant-based vegan and they fail. because they go, it didn't work for me. I felt crappy. I felt tired. My gut was bloated.
Because literally you were eating fried avocados and being like, oh, well, it's vegan. And you're like,
right. It's vegan. Is that no more? We want to say it's like healthy.
Yeah.
It's clean. It's plant-based.
But that's the thing. People for a while who are like more disordered, right? They're like, oh, I'm going to be vegan and that's going to omit a lot of food. And then I'm going to lose weight and I'm not going to have to think about it. But it's like, well, you're relegated to only eating beans unless you have to get like more creative.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's going to be boring. So
yeah. Aside from just like the convenience, but like the vegan food being so like, you know, not healthy, like the packaged stuff.
Yeah.
We have to think about like, are we going to commit ourselves to eating the same things and can we get bored of it?
Yeah.
Because you can do it. Like you just add in a bunch of variety, but you got to like the foods. You got to get creative.
You have to get creative.
Take some more elbow grease.
That's right. And then you have to find like the things in your repertoire that work. That's what I always tell people. I get it for ethics reasons. Like you want to just not eat meat, like for sure. Fine. Sometimes one of my kids, I'm like, this person is going to be a vegan because they're just like not into meat. Yeah. Like you have to be like, okay, well, this is what we're serving today. But mostly I am plant forward, right? If you think about like you're eating like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like, okay, there's like oatmeal for breakfast. And then like lunch, I'll do like chickpeas on a salad. And then like dinner, I'm roasting a chicken for my whole family because it's easy. And then like, that's where I ate the meat. So you can be healthy and have a varied diet and eat more plants. Yeah. And it'd probably be fine.
Yeah. Just remembering you got to do some research before that. Make sure before you make that transition, you have a foundation. Yeah. You have a plan. Yeah. You sort of know what it's going to look like and then making sure you're hitting also enough protein, making sure you're hitting enough calories. Some people don't even eat that. They're eating the processed fried avocados. They're not eating enough. They're feeling like crap. They're gaining weight.
That's right. That's right. They're like, I eat French fries every day for lunch. I'm like,
That's why you feel that way.
That's why I feel like that. Yeah.
Now we're on this side of the pendulum. Now this movement of carnivores everywhere.
Oh, I'm not into it.
But let's get into it. I want the New Jersey straightforward. What's going on with this carnivore?
Yo, guys, just enough. Like you get on the Instagram and somebody's body is all chiseled because like, oh, I'm eating only meat. And like, okay, but only eating the same thing all the time is going to get you in trouble. And the way that the meat industry is so industrialized in the world, like in America, I think you're dangerous. And we can link cancer to the overconsumption of red meat. I didn't make it up. Like, right? Just like, okay, like processed meats, right? Like sliced, like deli meats or whatever. Again, we can link that to colon cancer. These studies exist. So why are you just eating meat? Also, it's not good for your gut, right? You're always going to have stomach problems. Eventually it's going to catch up to you because you have no fiber in there. There's just like nothing really moving. So I think it's kind of dangerous. Just like eat a varied diet.
Eat a varied diet, And stop this is a big movement. And the way I always look at it is I don't doubt that a lot of people say, I feel better because it's an elimination.
Yes.
But like, it doesn't mean like if you do an elimination diet, you're going to eat 3 foods the rest of your life. It's not a testament to your health. It's not a testament to your gut health.
No.
You got to expand it so you can actually take in more foods, heal the gut, take in more fiber.
Yes.
But the fact that we're moving away from fiber-rich foods, that's crazy to me. And they're saying a lot, and I'm saying they like, not antagonistic, but like that camp is saying we don't need fiber, like at all. And we're good without fiber.
No, our ancestors had fiber.
Our ancestors had fiber.
Cavemen ate fiber. There were berries. There were
foraging.
Nuts. Yeah, there were seeds. They were eating leaves. Like they were eating fiber, guys. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it can't just be meat.
It's my problem with these people. Like I'm with you. The camp is like they just talk in absolutes. Like our way is the right way and it's the only way. I'm like, I don't really think that's true. Yeah. Stop giving people this information because it could be really dangerous for some people.
100%. We have so much good data on fiber. And your overall health, overall mortality, heart disease, diabetes, metabolic health, and that can't be thrown away. To me, I'm like, again, I don't doubt that people feel better because it's an elimination diet, but we have to think about how do we start building up from there.
Yeah, it's kind of like when we say, like, you can eat processed foods, eat whatever you want, whenever you want, and it doesn't matter. And so I get like really upset around that because I'm like, hey guys, I actually pay attention to my diet. I am thoughtful about what I'm eating and I got cancer. So because my genes were primed like that. So if you're telling somebody over here who has like low health literacy, and I get it, I'm not shaming people because they don't have access to things. We can help them around that. But when you give that PSA and they think like, oh, okay, it's okay for us to do this, you can be creating a bigger problem for them. So be very careful in what we're going out here. We're giving out to the public. It's not right.
It's really important to think about. So a lot of people considering it, I would just say, hey, there's some precautions that need to be taken.
Yeah.
And know that it's not long-term sustainable option.
It's not possible. Also, it's probably like really expensive.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Right?
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
But it even brings up like the whole thing of like really high amounts of saturated fat. Not everyone can have that. And there's some people even genetically that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
That can cause heart disease for you.
That's right. That's right. Think about like your LDL. And so for some people, you'll see like they'll lose, like I've seen patients, they'll lose like 20, 30 pounds and the LDL goes from like over 100 to like 70 where we want it. So like, okay, check. Awesome. Some people, they lose weight and nothing happens. It's like, okay, you get on statin, you can feel okay about being on the statin because we've done everything and this is just like your genetic makeup. So like, why are we going to have you intake more saturated fat than your body might be able to handle? Like there are so many nuances because every body is different.
Yeah, we can't be speaking from absolutes like that. Yeah, I love that.
It's infuriating.
It's infuriating. Okay, so this is what I learned. We gotta drink more water.
Please, everybody drink water because y'all are constipated and then you have an attitude and it's a whole cascade. So 96 ounces every day, please.
96 is the number. Whoa, we're really looking and spread it throughout the day. You can do it.
You can do it. You can do it. You all work from home, so you can train your bladder. It's okay.
Oh, exactly. So a lot of people, that they'll be like, "Oh, I can't drink that much because at work, I pee every 5 seconds."
So do it for a month, and your bladder will get used to it, and you'll stop doing it. And your work has a bathroom, and you're allowed to go.
Otherwise, quit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, leave that place.
So we have a different conversation.
And then we have a different conversation. Yeah. Put up the protein. Make sure you're getting enough.
Yep.
There ain't no problem with working out. That's a good thing.
Yep. Please work out.
The gut health, super essential. Hey, let's not go crazy over snacking every now and then.
No.
Really tune into your body if you can snack.
Yeah.
And the skin, we can eat for our skin.
We can. We should.
We haven't figured out the hair yet.
The hair is a little bit tricky. Yeah.
Hair is a little tricky. Mm-hmm. Vegan, you could do elbow grease.
Yep.
We got to put some work.
Yeah.
And carnivore, that's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole other podcast we can talk about because I feel annoyed about these people. But yeah, I have a lot of like patients coming in being like, look at this guy. Look at what he looks like. Can I just eat meat? I'm like, you can do whatever you want, but when you catch a heart attack.
Right. Don't put it on me.
Don't call me.
And we learned some really important stuff about the liver. Is there anything that we're missing that's really important for you nutritionally to speak to the audience that is just pressing that we should know?
I think people should give themselves a little bit of grace.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's hard to navigate. So it's okay. If you try something and you don't like it, then try something different. Yeah. You have many chances.
Yeah. Being more compassionate, like, okay, the very act of you seeking to be healthy is in itself massive.
Exactly.
It's powerful. So having some grace. Can you tell us a little bit about the platform that you were just talking about?
Oh, yeah. So we started Kalina Health in 2020. 91% of our patients access us through their insurance benefits. So you can use insurance. All of our dietitians are W-2 employees, which means we've standardized care. There is a method to it, how we deliver care. We are really interested in coordinating care with people's physicians so they have better outcomes. And we have dietitians for each disease state. So like weight management, cardiology, autoimmune, GI, like whatever is wrong, disordered eating, we can help you.
Amazing. Yeah. And this is so necessary because we go into our doctors or hospitals. They forget to give us anything dietary.
Oh, nothing.
Then we go home with a medication.
That's right.
And we call it health.
That's right.
No. Yeah, most of us don't even know how to eat.
That's right. And nutrition is the front line of healthcare, right?
You have to make it.
Insurance pays us to talk to our patients for 1 hour every single week. You have 7 to 12 minutes with your physician that you see only once a year, maybe once a quarter if you have a chronic condition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the way you got to say it. And where can we find you?
You can find me, Vanessa Rissetto RD. You can find Kalina, kalinahealth.com.
kalinahealth.com. All right, everyone go check it out. If you're looking for a dietitian, now you know where to go.
Yes.
And the insurance may be able to cover it?
Yeah. Insurance, everyone has this benefit. You all have the benefit. You have at least one. Most people have like 26.
Amazing.
Yeah. Per calendar year. So every calendar year it turns over.
Whoa.
So you got a copay. That's it.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. And you don't need a referral from your physician. You don't need to have a high BMI. You don't need to have a chronic disease. Dietary surveillance is a code that we can bill for. So
amazing.
You're good, guys. Just come in.
Everybody go get out
Come
your
see me.
insurance card, look at the
Yes.
number and call
Yes.
up.
And if your insurance doesn't cover it, just mention this podcast. We will give you 50% off the membership.
Amen. We love that.
Yeah.
We'll put the little link on the show notes. Thank you so much for teaching us some important stuff.
Come to Jersey. I'll buy you pizza.
Cut a Jersey. Listen, I have not had a Jersey pizza. You see, I can't have the cheese though.
Yeah. Okay.
But we gotta find a good one.
Yeah.
There's some.
Yeah, there are the ones in town that are like gluten free. They have vegan cheese. They have no cheese. Yeah, we got you.
Nowadays.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I know who I'm calling in Jersey. Thank you everyone for viewing and listening, and thank you for teaching us such important information.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.